Hi there, and welcome to this episode of the Performance Cafe. And today we're still talking productive kindness, but today we're going to take a look at it from a different perspective. So I've been thinking a lot about how do we help managers, leaders, team leaders, supervisors make the shift to productive kindness. I think it's quite difficult when organizations and systems previously have sort of blocked the efforts to make changes. And I'm not talking about just this change, but most changes. You know, large systems in general, but specifically large systems don't like change, so they push back against it. And I was wondering, what is the one thing that we can do that could help? I think I found the answer reading a book that I've actually been meaning to get to for such a long time. And I finally have it now on my Audible app, and I'm making use of it. And it's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. Basically in the book, the learning is that change, as a lot of small changes, is much more effective than one really huge change. But one of the really interesting things that the author highlights is that whatever we change must align with our identity. And think about it. If you are someone who's always smoked and you try and stop smoking, but your friends know you're a smoker, they know what your brand is, it's part of your social mechanism or your networking mechanism to go out for a smoke, you know, when you're at an event, to go and talk to the smokers, whatever the case may be, then it's more than just you smoke. Your habits, your way of being, your values, the things that are important to you are sort of somehow enmeshed and integrated into that decision. So when we're trying to change something, my takeaway, right? My way of perceiving it is that maybe the question we should ask ourselves is, how does the change I want to make align to who I am? And this to me is such a it's like a big wow moment. Because for all the years of change management, of trying to make a change in organizations across a variety of disciplines, across a variety of organizations of different sizes and shapes and industries, whatever, I now see, looking back, that when it didn't work, it was because the change did not align with the identity of the organization. And here's the tough thing, because sometimes our goals are aspirational. One day I want to be, or one day the business wants to be. But in an attempt to get to where we want to be, the identity now isn't aligned. So for example, I'm going to use my own example, but it's going to be similar to what was in the book. If you say, I want to lose weight, losing weight is a goal, but you know, what weight, how weight? If you say, I am a fit and healthy person, that aligns with your identity, and that determines what is fit, what is healthy. And then weight all of a sudden has a very specific meaning, not just thin or pretty. It's literally, what weight must I be at in order to be healthy? So I want to ask that we take this concept and we roll it into our discussion on productive kindness and say, what does it mean? What kind of manager must I be? And what does it mean to be productively kind? I can't give you that answer for yourself. That is something that you must understand and how it works within your environment. Right? If you are a manager in a manufacturing concern, not letting people work from home is not productively unkind. It's physically impossible. So that does not make you an unkind manager. You have to determine this for yourself. And I want to give you an example from my own experience. A couple of years ago, I was given the role of leading a team. And this team was full of really great people, but the team was unfortunately at risk of being shut down because of a variety of reasons. And I was given the lead of this team and told, make it profitable, make it better, make it so that it's worth our while to keep this team going. And I was told this, and I set about doing what I do best, and that is achieving and getting the team to achieve. Now, I am a fairly forceful person, or I used to be then. It's been a couple of decades since, but very focused, very driven, very forceful, very assertive, sort of this like really go kind of person. And I love my career and I love working. I never want to stop working. Even if I had all the money in the world, I'd still want to work because I find it adds a lot of value to me and it gives me a lot of purpose. And I had this team going and I was trying my darndest and I was trying to get my work done and help them to sort their stuff out and really giving it my all the way I normally would and being driven and focused and all those things that I was known for. And then came a performance management session, and the best way of putting it is I was demoted for being too hard on the team. And the reason for that was, in me being me, I was trying to force the team to be me in order to achieve goals. That was productively unkind. Even if I got productivity up, even if I increased performance, the way I left them feeling was not great. That was incredibly unkind. It lacked compassion. It lacked empathy. At that time, when I received that feedback, I remember being the most confused person under the sun because I was an A-game player in this organization. And I was shocked and mortified that this could have happened to me. But in essence, what really had happened was that I was being productively unkind because I had an idea of what this should be. And I was trying to force people into that same mold. And that was actually, I think, the start of my journey with productive kindness, in that I always spent a lot of time thinking about that episode and in my life and what I did and how it was dealt with by everyone involved, not pointing any fingers. And that was where I learned the value of productive kindness. And only later did I realize that I was so career driven that my identity caused that, did not force me, but that my identity caused that. And it's only now that I'm older and slightly grayer that the shift in the identity could occur, that I could understand that it's more important for me to lead a high performance team than for me to be holding the whip. And so I hope this little interlude was interesting. Please read Atomic Habits by James Clear. And I look forward to seeing you at the next Performance Cafe. Remember, if you like this and you're following us on YouTube, please subscribe and click on the notification bell so that you get the next episode. If you're following us on LinkedIn and on Facebook, we love to see you there too. Please like, comment, and share so that we can get all of these little messages out into the world. But until next time, I look forward to seeing you at the Performance Cafe.